I love that you said that you have a mental coach. And I love that, that is becoming a part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, like he says, it's 50% of the battle.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter how gifted you are physically. If you're not up here, you're not prepared.
Yeah. What is good, football world? We are here today with the Cannon team, coming at you from Newbury Park High School. They've got a quarterback by the name of Brady Smigiel, 5-star recruit, at least top 10 in the country with 29 touchdown passes. And what I think I'm most impressed with in watching a little bit of practice is his demeanor, his leadership skills, his ability to communicate. Coach Smigiel's gracious enough to let us come up here and integrate with the guys and let you guys understand, a little bit of behind the scenes of what these guys think about, football-wise, but also what life is about. Football world, I'm here with Brady Smigiel. Ultimately, man, I'm here to learn a little bit about you. And I think, what does it mean for you to play quarterback?
Yeah, well, I have a twin brother, Bo, obviously, and ever since we were kids, he was always the receiver, I was the quarterback, and I just liked having that role for the reason you said. Great game, all the hype's on you, and you have the worst game ever, and everything's on you. You lose, no matter what, the quarterback's getting in trouble, and if you win, the quarterback's getting the hype. So I just like that factor, all eyes are on you at all moments, and it helps me grow.
Let's talk about big picture, and then we'll bring it back to football. What are your dreams for your life, man?
Yeah, I want to be a dad. My dad just showed me he's a huge role model for me, and he, not only me and my brother, but all of us out here, football is a life lesson. Football is going to be one of the hardest things you do, especially as a teenager, and it gives you so much life lessons, just competing and fighting through adversity. And I just want to be a dad, have a good job, and just, I don't really know, just be a dad, be a role model to other people.
I love that, man. I think that's a super powerful message. Where are some areas in your life that maybe you don't give attention to? What are some weaknesses of Brady that if you address, if you dive into, they help develop the whole of Brady Smigiel? Yeah,
we were talking about it earlier, but just there's a lot of eyes on me and a lot of people looking up to me. I'm just trying to be as positive as I can. Starting to figure out, you're gonna have bad days, but there's always good and bad days. So just trying to find the good. I mean, there's times where I wake up and the day's already over, just I'm waking up negative, not trying to get out of bed, not trying to go to school, not trying to go to practice. But you just gotta figure out how blessed we are just to be able to live here and be able to walk on our own 2 feet, play the sport of football and just hang out with all of our friends. So just trying to find the positive, be less negative is what I'm really working on right now.
I love that, man. Rooting yourself kind of in gratitude and in gratefulness for what you have, right?
Yes, sir.
For sure. I heard you out there talking about we're gonna be the best conditioned team.
Yep.
What do you mean by that? Expand on that.
That's what we're known for. I mean, so far this year, we tired people out in the fourth quarter, whether we're up 21 points or we're pushing the ball, just running it down your throats and then throwing it over your head.
Yeah.
Coach Savita, he does a really good job, and my coach Smigiel, they do a really good job at conditioning us. We hate it in the summer, but when we get to the game and we have no cramps, and those big D linemen that are coming after me the first half are walking during the plays in the second half, I go back to them and I thank them, because all of our own line is running up the field, our athletes are running up the field, and I'm calling the play when we run down the field and no one's ready for it. And even if we're having a bad game where chemistry's not on, we're going to figure it out, because we're going 100% and those guys out there are going 60, 70.
Love that, man. I think that's a powerful message too for, the youngsters and for anybody who's a football person to appreciate that what you do in the off season really matters. It shows up, and it's shown up so far this season in your statistical numbers. What do you got? 1,700 yards, 29 tugs.
Yes, sir.
Do you even think about that stuff?
No. A lot of my buddies, they like to joke with me, oh, Mr. Knight or whatever. All my stats they like to throw at me, but that stuff doesn't really matter to me. The stat that matters to me most is the interceptions. I just got to get better at throwing less interceptions. I got a bunch of really good athletes here, and my job is to just get them the ball and not try to be Superman and throw it to the other team.
Let's talk about your nutrition. What does that mean to you, and how do you take care of yourself from a nutrition standpoint?
Yeah, well, I'm superstitious, so before every game, I'm getting Jersey Mike's before every game.
Okay.
We lost when I got the Jersey Mike's in Thousand Oaks, so I got to stick to the one in Newbury Park.
Okay.
But game day, it's really just, I have eggs every morning, eggs and toast or a bagel, and then game day, it's Jersey Mike's at lunch, and then I'm really not eating anything, just hydrating like crazy.
How do you handle your emotions after, say, you know, your second pick six against T.O.? Like, what happens on the sideline? How do you handle that?
I think that's one of the big improvements I've had this offseason is just, last year I was more worried about like what everybody's thinking about me in the stands. I mean, I really could care less at this point. Like, no, none of that gets to me. All I want to do is get on the iPad, talk to my coaches, and see what I could do better. One of the coaches Charlie Smith gave me, who I talk to quite often, he's a mental performance coach. It's the last play doesn't define you, it's the next play. It's not worrying about me. It's all, I mean, it's me versus me. I don't care about how much people are in the stands, how much student sections are calling me overrated. It's me versus me, and if I let that side of me defeat me, then it's over. So I just got to stay in it.
That's super mature, man. I think the me versus me mentality, do you get that from your mental performance coach?
Yeah. I'm starting to meet with him more, and it's really cool. He's awesome to meet with. My confidence is shooting through the roof after meeting with him, and it's a whole different way to look at life.
Emotional health is something that I think in the football world is super important to address. Like, like you said at the top of our conversation, man, it's like football is just a way to assess, you know, yourself as a person. And so let's talk about, you know, maybe how you handle emotions outside of football. Being the quarterback, it's like being the boss, and going back to like football being life lessons. Like I mean, if you're throwing an interception, it's going to be your fault. If your wide receiver drops the ball, it's going to be on you. And that's just how you have to take it. Everything, if there's anything negative, it's going to be on you, because that's how everyone's looking at it. And when you start pointing fingers and you start trying to make it less about you and more about other people, it's just not going to go well. So you have to take everything in, just blame it on you, and then all your guys will trust you, respect you, and then you can move on to the next play. Let's have some fun. Let's think about, where do you want to take football, man? Like, you're here, you've got the size, you got the arm, you've got the brains, you've got the maturity, you're working on all these intangibles to be essentially, like, I've dealt with professional quarterbacks, I've dealt with college quarterbacks, I've seen top to bottom. It seems to me like you're working on all the things, but have some fun, manifest what you want to create in your football career, in your football dream. What does that look like?
Yes, sir. It's weird to say, everyone's kids, like when you're a kid and you just play anything, your dream is the biggest, and that's like the NFL or the NBA or whatever it is. Strangely enough, my dream was always just to be a Division I athlete, go play college. I mean, in my opinion, those crowds are even crazier than the NFL crowds.
A lot of times,
just with those student sections, 100,000 people just cheering on your team. I think that's much more special, and just play for a Division I team, go out and start. Wherever that takes me, I have no idea where I'm going to college, but just playing Division I football has always been the dream.
Cool, man. I'm just gonna sit with you in that moment for a minute, and you know, maybe in a few years from now we can circle back to this conversation and dap up and laugh on it, and you know, I think everybody around you expects that and knows it, but I, in my experience, know that you still get to take control of your own life and get to create it for yourself.
Yes, sir.
And if there's anything that I can share with you, like, it sounds to me like you're on your way. And so I appreciate you taking the time, man. I appreciate, you know, you being willing and open to answer all my questions.